I'm going to bring the heat today. I'm excited to see you guys. My name's Ian Macklin. I know a lot of you guys, but I'm going to get on here and just give you some value. And here's what I want you to do. I want you to focus for the next 15, 20 minutes. And I'm gonna drop some things that maybe I'm just supposed to be here on this call today. I want to explain to you guys something that's super important and it's on my heart as I'm here with you guys. Half of life, I really believe that the majority of life is really envisioning what you want. Really envisioning what you're gonna go get. Really visualizing the way you're gonna have this coming up month. What's your month gonna look like? Have you planned your month? What's your leadership gonna look like? What's the type of energy that you're gonna bring this month? What's the type of leadership that you're gonna bring this month? Like, do you envision where you're going, and do you envision what type of energy and what type of focus and what type of mindset that you're gonna have to get what you want? 5 years ago, we just had this David Goggins event, and 5 years ago, we were sitting in a church, and I started feeling the Holy Spirit in my veins, man, like I'd never ever even thought was possible. They say some people know God and then some people meet God. I met him and knew him all at once at that moment in time. And man, I'm going to tell you, this vision that I had, this vision that Andy had, I looked over to the next to him. He had a tear in his eye. I had a tear in my eye. And I'm like, man, it felt so clear. It felt so clear about this dream to have an event there. It felt so clear that we didn't know it was an event. Matter of fact, for the next couple of months, we would start trying to make offers on this building, and we thought that would be the building that we would go to. And we're like, man, we've seen ourselves talking, we've seen ourselves here, we've seen it. How many of you guys have seen your life being a great, amazing, huge dream life? Like, how many of you have envisioned exactly what your life wants to look like? Tiffany, Kathan, Luis, how many of you have had a calling? And sometimes, you know what I want to tell you guys? Sometimes we ignore that calling. Sometimes we ignore that one thing that's in our heart that we're supposed to be doing because you know what? We get comfortable. Or you know what? Along the way, the devil's going to try to steal your dream. I sat there with about 9 people at the time, and 6 of them are no longer with us. You know why? Because along that vision, along that journey, we all said we had the same dreams, but a lot of people let the devil attack them. Here's what I want to tell you. The number one thing that you're going to have to focus on in your life is defending yourself from the devil. They say, man, if you've got God's favor, you've also got the devil's favor. Here's what I want to tell you. He's the greatest salesperson of all time. He's going to send you to be distracted on meetings like this. He's going to send you to get confused. He's going to send you to hate yourself. He's going to send you to look at shame, guilt, fear, all of these things. And he's going to try to unconvince you of that dream. The problem is I was not sold on anything he had to send me. And every day that it was hard, I remember I was driving home from work, and my wife, she's right over here. She didn't know I was going to do this call. My wife will tell you that along that way, man, there was a time where I had to pull over my car because I'd worked so damn hard because I was so certain of this dream that I was working my just ass off. Who's working their ass off for their dream right now? Seriously. Seriously. And some of you guys, you're not doing shit. Some of you guys, you're really not working towards the dream. And some of you guys, I see you. I know that you are. I know that you're giving everything. I know that it feels hard. And I don't have a whole lot of training for you today. What I'm going to do is I want to speak some encouragement into you. I want to speak some truth into you. I want to speak some things that I know along the way. There's a couple of things that are going to happen. And I'm telling you, I was almost a victim of this. Along the way, the devil is going to try to convince you that you're not worthy. He's going to try to convince you to go backwards. He's going to try to convince you to go be with the wrong people. He's going to try to convince you of when you were sold on that dream. How did you feel when you said you were going to go do what you said you were going to do right now? You were motivated. You were inspired. You were excited. And then you know what happens? Gives you a little taste of this, a little taste of that. Sergio, I see Sergio on the treadmill. He was down here with us at the David Goggins event, fired up as hell. He decided to change his health. We're on days, maybe we did that maybe 11 days ago. Sergio, you're on day 11. But along the way, Sergio, he's going to try to feed you Cheetos. He's going to try to feed you a whole bunch of shit. He's going to try to make you doubt yourself. And maybe that's what we'll talk about today, is your identity. Everybody write down identity. Your identity is either rooted in one thing, the progress of going forward, chasing your dream, going after your dream, not getting sold on anything else, or it's going to be rooted. The only time people have an identity issue is when they have a confidence issue. Confidence in the lens that you see, the way that you see the world, the way that you see your team, the way that you see people around you, the perspective that you had. A lot of the people that were next to me and Andy, man, you know what would happen along the way? the devil would tell them all these different things, and they would lose their perspective on what they said that they started with. My wife, one thing she knows about me right over here is there was that time I was driving to work and I had to pull over, and I'm telling you, I had worked so hard, and I'm not telling you, everybody's like, Ian promotes hustle culture. Bitch, I promote the truth. I promote that whatever you're gonna do, I've never met one person in my motherfucking life that has ever not given everything they have for the dream that they want, or it's not a big enough dream. I live 40 miles from the den, and my wife knows I would have to pull over halfway and I'd have to take a nap on the way home because I'd be so exhausted, to the point where Andy said, hey, you can live in this house that we just bought up the street from the den because your house is getting ready to have a car accident. Like, you need to be closer to here. And I was like, well, I got this new house. It's our dream house. I can't move my wife out of it. We're moving. We got all these different things. Who you surround yourself with? But I would have to pull over. And one day I pulled over because I felt like my whole body going numb. And I was like, man, what is this, man? Why do I feel like this? And I slept for like 6 hours, and it was late at night, and everybody was looking for me. And, you know, my wife, she was really scared. Like, you could tell that, like, all these things that you do, sometimes they're not the best things for you. But, you know, one thing she knows about me is she's always had to try to tell me to chill out a little bit. She's like, you got to chill out a little bit sometimes. Like, there's a time where you got to chill out a little bit. Listen, man, there's a time for some of you to get pissed off. You got to decide that if you want the house, if you want the pool, if you want the dream life, whatever it's going to be, it's going to cost you more than you want to pay. And sometimes I look at people and I see them and they're like, man, I want this. I'm like, what does the action look like? What does your belief look like? What does your energy look like? What does your mindset look like? What does your focus look like during the week? What does it look like? How present are you? How excited are you? How much do you believe that God put that dream inside of you because it's your dream with him? He's trying to show you every night when you go to sleep and you know that it could be for you. He's trying to tell you it's for you. But you know what? God's not going to give that dream to somebody who's going to play half-ass effort. He's not going to give it to the player that showed up Monday, Wednesday, Thursday. He's going to give it to the player that works so damn hard he can't drive home. He's going to give it to the player that doesn't lose perspective and knows that he's worth it, that she's worth it. You're not on these calls because you don't believe that you have a big-ass dream inside of you. We don't attract those kinds of players. We attract people that really want to be the bloodline breakers to their family. Man, 5 years ago, Andy used to tell me what our dream would look like, but he used to not sell me on the dream. He used to sell me on the struggle. Because he could want people around him that understood that, like, everybody can get their dream. You know what he told me? First day we started this, I said, I got a couple $100,000 in the bank. Did really good in sales. He trained me in sales. I was a killer in sales. But you know what he told me? He said, dude, you're probably going to lose all of that shit. All of it. He said, you can't be naive. If you really want to get the dream entrepreneurial life, you're going to have to literally probably go all the way back to zero and more. Guys, in 2019, I was in the car business. Anybody in the car business, anybody can understand this story if you were in sales during COVID. I got into sales with Andy. We decided we were going to do this company, and I'm just going to tell you my story. Maybe it'll inspire you. Maybe it'll help you. Maybe it's where you're at. Maybe you can see yourself in some of it. Think about your story. Don't think about mine. 2019, I decided to start this thing with him. I saw the vision in him. If you're a leader, if you don't have a vision, people will perish. It's in the Bible. Some of you, your vision isn't big enough for people to see it in. Some of you, they don't see how they can get your dreams inside of theirs. Okay? Now, 2019, I'm in the car business, selling at a Nissan store. Obviously, I was one of the best in the world. If you know my story, I was kicking ass. I was taking names. I was ultra committed. In my 20s, I didn't really do a whole lot. I didn't really have 20s. I had selling. I had working. I had becoming. I did a lot of things. I mean, I didn't have a whole lot of mentors, so I don't really understand the whole like health and faith side. If I would have had that, I would have been unstoppable, but I was already pretty great. But 2019, I've got a couple $100,000 in the bank. He says, we're going to start this thing. And we start training. We start growing. We start going door to door. We start going business to business, and we're just working just like you guys are. And COVID happens. Market starts to respond. Salespeople, the average salesperson is getting paid $1,500 to maybe $2,000 a car. When I was selling, the average salesperson was getting paid $250 a car, maybe $300, and you could club some people for $750, maybe $1,000 if you got lucky or if you did really good. But I was at a Nissan store, and we called it the race to the bottom. Every store was competing on price, and it was about volume. And I just want to tell you, this is how the devil will try to steal your dreams. This is exactly how he'll try to steal your dreams. I'm training salespeople, and I've got salespeople that can't put together 2 sentences, that have literally never sold, that literally aren't that great at what they do. I'm just being honest with you. They're making 3, 4, 500 grand. I'm selling 60, 70 cars to do that. I'm working 7 days a week. My store's closed on Sundays. And on Sundays, I would go stand at Red Rocks Mountain, and I would hand out water bottles with my logos on them. I worked 7 days a week. 7 days a week. Most people in my store only worked 4 or 5, but I wasn't most people. I wanted to get paid like a doctor. I wanted to be a bloodline breaker. I wanted my mom to be able to be proud of her son. My mom worked so hard to see her kids. I caught a lot from my mom. You guys know my story. If you know my story, I watched my mom work every day. She was in the military, almost lost her legs, was severely injured, and she showed up every day with love, every day with passion, every day with care, man. You know, I didn't have a dad, but you know what I did? I had a dream, and my mom, I saw how hard my mom had to work to make my dream happen. Matter of fact, I'm not the bloodline breaker. My mom and my grandparents were. My mom worked really hard. My grandfather was in the military, did a lot of really amazing things for other people, and mostly not himself. Didn't die with money, but he died with respect. He died with love. He died with people knowing who he was. But 2019, I'm going after this dream, man. My mom's already kind of proud of me. She sees what I can do, but I'm around the wrong people. I'll be honest with you. I'm doing some of the wrong things still. I'm making money, but I'm empty. I'm making money, but I'm like, this doesn't feel like what I'm supposed to feel like. Man, I got the house, I got the cars, I got everything I want. This isn't what it's supposed to feel like. If you haven't made a lot of money yet, you'll get there. And if you don't get there through faith first, if you don't have something bigger than money, dude, you will get there, and it will not be the best feeling in the world. So what we encourage you to do is have that faith. 2020 comes, I'm coaching these guys. They're making more money than I've ever seen. I've got car sales people that I'm coaching making $1 million selling half the cars that I was selling. You know what the devil was trying to do at that time to me? You know what he was trying to do? He was trying to tell me, hey, man, go back into the car business. Hey, man, I was getting general managers every day. They were offering me $1 million. I'd never made $1 million. Offering me $1 million to go back in and do that job. Hey, man, oh my God, here's how it's gonna look. Here's what this is gonna be. Here's how, dude, we'll buy you a house. We'll move you out here. And you know what? That's exactly what the devil wanted me to do. So most of you wouldn't be here. That's exactly what he wanted me to do. He wanted me to give up on my dream. He wanted me to sell out, and he was trying to pay me the most amount of money to do it. Along the route that you're on right now, you might have just got into sales, and you might come from customer service. And the devil right now might be telling you to quit. He might be saying, man, you're not really built for this. You can't really do this. You're not really good at this. Why would you want to do this? You can't. He's going to tell you all of the shit that your mind knows it needs. And you know what your job is to do? Say, get the hell out of my house. You know what? As I drive to work some days, I feel like the devil's sitting in the back seat of my car. I was driving to work the other day. I'm going to be honest with you guys. I had 800 people on a company Zoom, and man, my kid was throwing up in the morning. I had all this shit going on. You guys know how it is. I had all these things going on, man. I couldn't prepare like I wanted to, just like right now. I didn't even know I was going to be talking to you guys. They're calling me. They're like, Ian, get on there. I'm like, I'm sick. Players, you know what we always do? We always show up. We always deliver. Contenders always show up. Pretenders don't. Navy SEALs show up. Baby SEALs don't. Okay? Well, you know, along that route, he's just going to give you things that he's going to try to convince you that you're not worthy. I was driving to work, and man, it was just like, man, I just had that voice that was loud. You guys ever have that loud voice? You guys ever got that little bitch voice in there that's just yelling at you? Honestly, I pulled my car over and I just started yelling. I was like, get out of the car, get out of the car. This lady was walking her dog, and she's like, what's going on with you? I could see, she didn't say it, but I could see her because I'm yelling at nobody. I'm literally yelling at nobody. And, but in my mind, what I was yelling at was that person that was trying to convince me not to show up for those 800 people, not to show up 100% of myself. And I'm not talking about showing up. There's a lot of people who show up. You got to show up unforgettable. You got to show up memorable. You got to show up ready to play 110%. Dude, your dreams are going to require 200%. Your dreams are going to require a level that, dude, you don't even understand yet. And it's going to require you to do it for years. That's why most people don't get to feel like what their dreams are like. Dude, I'm standing in my dream house right now. You know how I got that? I'm telling you, man, because I was willing to give it every single day, all freaking day long, every single day, all day long. Oh, Ian, that's hustle culture. No, dude. Give me anybody that's gotten anything out of life. You know what they're going to have to do? They're going to have to build themselves. They're going to have to give it their all. You know what I know about myself? When I'm not giving it my all, I know, and I'm not very nice to me. I'm not very nice to me. You know what I know? I'm nice to me, man, when I know I go home at night and I know I gave it my all. I want to encourage some of you to freaking empty the tank on here. I want to encourage some damn hustle culture on here, if that's what they're hating on me on the internet for, writing YouTube videos and shit. Listen, man, I want to encourage you that if you were to give it your all for the next 6 months, let's just focus on 6 months. Andy told me 5 years, but some of y'all just don't think that long term. Honestly, I didn't even think we would be here I didn't even give a shit. I was ready to sleep on couches. I was ready to do whatever it took. I went negative in my bank account. I lost all the money that I thought I was attached to, only to realize that I was more attached to becoming the person than I was to the money. And then I had more fun creating the person, creating the mindset, man, I would go to sleep with anxiety, fear, panic attacks, all this shit. You know why? It's because I had a dream inside of me my whole life that I stopped attacking for because somebody sold me a little bit of success. They sold me a little bit of success, and at nighttime I was having this massive frustration on my heart because I knew that I was supposed to go harder, and I wasn't. I was able to work 4 days a week because I was talented, because I was skilled, because I'd worked for it. But I just knew that there was more. So my message today is, do you know there's more? If there's more, then it's on you to give it. It ain't on nobody else. It ain't on nobody else. It's on one person. It's on you. If you know there's more, listen up. If you know there's more, this is what you do. Here's your action plan. Somebody said, what's the action plan? Give it. What's the vehicle you're in right now? Doesn't even matter. Doesn't even matter if you're in sales. It doesn't matter if you're in leadership. It doesn't even matter. Here's what you do. You know there's some things in your life right now that you're not doing. Start there. Start there. Start there. Let's do a personal audit of where you're currently at. There's some things that you know that you shouldn't be doing, and you're doing them. There's two choices that every person is faced with every day. One, I know I should be doing this thing. Do I do it? Let's start there. I know I should be on that treadmill at 7:30 like Sergio, but I'm not there. So I'm going to get off this call and I'm going to go get there. Okay? That's step one. That's step one to confidence. That's step one to identity. That's step one. I don't get nervous when I walk into any room. You know why? Because somebody's asked me backstage about this Goggins thing. They said, are you nervous? I said, dude, I woke up like it was the best. I could go talk to 1,000 people, 50,000 people, 20. It doesn't even matter anymore, because ultimately the scorecard I have with myself, I know who I am. And you don't discover who you really truly are unless you really show up for yourself every single day. And step one, keep the promise to yourself. So here's how you do it. Step one, you know you should be doing something. Do you do it? Step two, I know I shouldn't do something. Do I not do it? Step two, that'll raise your confidence right away. Check this out. Who wants to have the greatest confidence in the room and walk in and everybody can see it on you and you can feel it in your own heart? Raise your hand if that's you. Do you want to walk into a room and be so infectious? People are like, hey, dude, what do you do? What do you got going on? What's happening there? Has anybody ever seen somebody who walks into the room and they can immediately like persuade and the whole room with just being them? Okay, that's just because that person has confidence. You know how they got that? It's because they kept promises to themselves. They decided to do some things. Listen, Kathan, I don't know what you're going through, but I sure as hell know that you have a problem and a demon that you don't want to face. I know that. Because every human does. I coach billionaires on down to the guy that just started like some of you guys. And you know what? What I've learned about guys that have 9, 10 figures in the bank account, they just got bigger problems that they don't want to face. And if they face them, they grow. But they grow at an even bigger rate. If you're small, if you're doing something small right now, super cool, doesn't matter. Here's what you're going to want to do. You're going to want to face it right now. Face whatever it is right now. The boogie monster under the bed, if you look at him, he doesn't even exist. The boogie monster doesn't even exist, bro. You've been making the boogie monster big for so long. You guys know David versus Goliath? David versus Goliath. David was a little boy. He's facing the Philistine army. They're like the badass, they're this big badass army. But his army is God's army. His army is undefeated. His army has been kicking ass, but these guys are getting well known. They're doing their thing, okay? His brothers are up on the hill. They got all of this armor. He's the little shepherd boy in the neighborhood. He's the little shepherd boy in the village, feeding them, bringing food up to them. And this whole army is scared because they got this giant, this huge giant, this giant that's just taunting God's army, telling them that they're not worth it. They can't do it. Dude, you got a giant in your life too. And you know what? He goes up there and he gets pissed off. And the king at the time, Saul, goes, hey, you can have my armor, because he convinces him that he's ready to go out there. He has a God-sized belief behind him, man. He's got a God-sized belief behind him. He says, man, I'm going out there. They said, you're just a little boy. He said, dude, you have no clue who I am. Dude, listen, you got no clue. And they let him go out there. And you know what? They say, hey, you need this armor, man. You can take the king's armor. He says, I don't need the king's armor. I got God's armor. What armor do you have? Listen, man, this isn't just a talk. I'm just telling you the shit that goes on through my head every single day as a person who's been able to dominate my industry, create what we've created, grow every day, be really happy. I actually have a great marriage. A lot of people say they have this shit, but behind the scenes, their shit sucks. I'm very happy with my life and what I've created, honestly and truly. Honestly and truly. Truly. I had a giant like that in my life, and I still do. You'll always have a giant like that in your life. And here's the coolest thing. Because at every level, there's a different giant that creeps in. Giants you're not even aware of. Sometimes a giant that you just let in your house. David goes out there and walks out there with God-sized belief and smacks that giant. Can you walk out there today and this week, can you smack the giant in your life? Can you do something that you know you should be doing and not hide from it and do it? That's what I want to ask you. Because if we're talking about identity and leadership, if we're talking about identity in sales, if we're talking about identity in anything, which identity is the governor of your life. The life that you currently have right now is because of the identity you think about yourself. It's because of the choices that you made. It's because of the belief that you have. The identity that your team has. We have a psycho identity here because we got a psycho amazing leader. Okay? He believes it can happen. He believes everything can happen. And he's so grateful every day that he's willing to conquer these demons and battles, and he'll do them publicly. He'll do them with you. He'll talk about all the shit that he's going through and make it seem like it's nothing. Most of these battles that you've created, they're nothing. They're nothing. They're literally nothing. They're literally nothing. You think that they're big? They're not even a David versus Goliath moment. They're like a David versus little baby Goliath. But we've done a good job at edifying this giant to be giant. I'm here to tell you today, guys, maybe God sent me today on this message to tell you that giant that you got hiding under your bed ain't even really a giant. It's just a little thing that you need to look under that damn bed, you need to face, and you need to decide. And here's what I'm gonna tell you. If you can get good at doing step 1 and step 2 that I talked about, more often than not, you're gonna create an identity over a long period of time. I see some of you on this call that have been with us for 2 years, 3 years, 4 years. You're ultra consistent. And you've been growing and you've been getting better and you've been making double, triple the amount of money and you know what I'm talking about because I've spoken to you for years. You stay consistent. But how many people start something and stop something? How many people don't see something through? How many people just give up? How many people they're in a new program, new theme? Listen, wherever you're at, make it great. Wherever you're at. And here's the deal, man. I don't even care if you're at McDonald's. If you're at McDonald's, go make it the best. Wherever you're at, make it the best. Wherever you're at, just do your best. Wherever you're at, just get a little bit better your every day. And for God's sake, some of you start believing in yourself. Start saying, I am him, dude. Listen, man, I may not be perfect, but I'm freaking him. If you knew what I've been through, you would quit. There would be 1 million people that would quit. I'm speaking for you, Aaron. I'm speaking for you, Marcus. 1,000 people would have quit, but you haven't. Daniel, 1,000 people would have quit if they knew your story. Bro, they would never even understand how you walk in the room with a smile every day because you've continued to keep going. You've continued to push through. But along the way, we forget that. Along the way, we conform and we just think we're some average ass dude, average ass girl. Man, come on, man. Come on, man. Smack your damn self in the face, man. If my kid wasn't sleeping, I'd bring his ass, this little 1-year-old ass out here on this Zoom, sick or not. I'd be like, hey, guys, listen, man, I'm doing it for him. I make all you cry with that. Because why? You are, man. You are. I don't care if you got kids. If you don't have kids, you're going to have kids someday. Andy always told me, hey, you're going to have kids, man. You better be ready. You better get ready. Me and my wife, we were talking about today. We were like, man, we're so glad we made these sacrifices like when everybody else quit. When like she watched people steal from us, burn us, lie to us, cheat us, ridicule us, hate on us, take stuff from us, and then act like it was us, the whole deal. And you know what we never did? Quit. We never even blamed them. Don't even care. Just stayed grateful, stayed close to God, stayed good with a good mindset. But I'll tell you what, man, the number one key that you need in your life is you need extra belief. And the extra belief is going to come from a challenge. The extra belief is going to be coming from something that you don't want to do, and you're going to go do it today. That's what I want to say. Maybe that's why God called me here to have this conversation with you. The next level of your belief. I have a client. He's a really good friend of mine, and he stays really close to me. And his name is Aaron Primula. I'm going to tell him. And he's like, man, he never did social media when I first got with him. Feared it, hated it, didn't want to do it. He's a good guy, man. Just solid cat. I mean, the dude looks like Jason is it Statham? Babe, what's that guy's name? Jason Statham? Statham from the Transport video movie? Y'all know who I'm talking about? He's like that dude, but like 3 times as jacked. But inside, he sometimes acts like a little kitty. He sometimes is like, man, fuck, man. He's got a lot of shit that he's dealt with, a lot of trauma, a lot of problems. He's got a lot of things, man, a lot of things he's gone through. And he's now finding his voice. And it's so cool to see him. First, step 1 to your past is acceptance. Step 1 to your past is like understanding that if you've been through some shit, that's the coolest thing for you. Some guy walked in our den and he wanted to, our headquarters the other day, and he like exposes people. He's like famous for exposing people. You guys know those YouTube dudes. And Andy volunteers to get exposed. He's like, yeah, come on in, bro. Come on in. Come check this out. Expose the shit out of us. Come on. Whatever you want to do. And the guy's asking me all these questions and shit. He's like, what about Andy's past? I'm like, bro, if you actually knew what we did in the past, like if the actual shit comes out, then you'll actually really have some shit to talk about. Because what I've done is way worse than anything that they've got on the internet. It's worse than any of you guys even know. It's way worse, because, that's just how the world works. And anybody that's just living in their past, they can never go towards the future. If you're living in the past and you don't, and you're mad at yourself for the past, bro, you got to let it go. You got to go towards the future. You got to go towards the future. The greatest people in the world, they weren't born a billionaire. They were born a piece of shit. Shitty shit happened to them. They were dealt some cards, but you know what? This is the number one rule of any business, any success that you have, your stress management. What do you see? Does it change your vision? Can you take something and grow from it and learn from it and become better? And that's the goal. And listen, as everything happens to you in life, what you decide to see is your vision. Whatever your lens is. Some people got a dirty lens. They're looking at their past like, oh my God, all this shit happened to me. Man, matter of fact, dude, when you're going through the storm, nothing feels good. Anybody ever go through a storm? Anybody going through a storm right now? That shit sucks, man. It doesn't feel good. Here's what I want you to do in the storm. I want you to understand that storm is trying to forge you. That storm is trying to show you who you are. If you act like a little poopy pants, little baby girl, shut your little bitch ass up. Listen, man, that's not who you are. Everybody's been through a storm, but some people deal with the storm differently. They see it differently. They act differently in it. They're happier in it. They're more positive in it. They're not upset about it. They know that it's supposed to come. They know that there's nobody in life that's exempt from a storm. You realize that, right? I have more storms right now in my life than I've ever had. I also have more happiness in my life than I've ever had. You know why? Because I'm built for the storm, because God beat my ass for several years of storms. So now it's like I got an atomic bomb that I can just drop on these storms and it's no big deal. It's like I used to only have a pocket knife to fight through like 70,000 people. Now I got an atomic bomb. I can just drop it on that army. I'm here to tell you, going back to that Aaron story so I don't get distracted, his fear is public speaking. So I'm flying down to his house on next Saturday, and he's gonna public speak, and he's gonna start a YouTube channel, and he's and that piece of I don't think I'm worthy, I can't do it. I know there's a calling for me to do this. How many people know that there's a bigger calling on their life? They know that they're supposed to be here, but they're like, I mean, well, this guy does that. He looks like that. I mean, she's better. She didn't go through what I went through. You should have seen the guy I was with. This didn't happen to me. Shut your bitch ass up. Shut up. Shut up. Shut up. Listen, man. I feel like I was sounding like The Rock from WWE. I think he used to say that. Shut your candy ass up or something like that. I don't know. But here's what I'm gonna tell you. The people that can harness their story, the people that, like, if you know right now that thing is hard for you, I want you to do it this week. For him, I'm going out there with him. I'm like, hey, man, he's one of my guys. I'm like, I'll fly out there with you. I'll do it with you. We're going to do this together. And we're going to have, he got off the phone call with me, and he posted a video. He said, man, I've got this, my stomach is just churning. It's just churning. And I said, and you know why? Because he knows it's what he's supposed to do, but he's not done it. And if you hide it for years, you wake up and you're 40 years old, 50 years old, 60 years old, 70 years old, 5 years older, whatever you are, and it creates like bitterness. It creates resentment. It creates things in your life that you don't want to have. Why punish yourself that way? Why punish yourself that way? Why not just start saying, hey, man, I know I'm supposed to do this thing. I'm going to start doing it. Little by little. Last thing I'm going to tell you guys, 5 years ago, the dream looked really cool. Along the way, it was, how would I describe it? It was beautiful, but it was dark. It was painful. If you ask my wife, she knows that I've probably taken off. How many days do you think I've taken off? She says 2 since she's known me. 2. It's not about me. I just understand that whatever you're going to give, if you don't give an extremely psycho amount of effort on, I mean, I don't think I've actually ever taken a real day off, because even if I'm here, I'm still doing things. Huh? That's true. She said I was working when the baby was being born. I don't recommend that, but I probably had some important shit going on. Did I say that, babe? That makes me look like shit. Okay. No, but this is what I want to encourage you. I know it's going to take some extreme amount of effort. And I know that sometimes you guys feel like, man, I just don't have any left to give. Ian, where do I get it from? Where do I get it from? Where do I get the next level from? You get it from Jesus, man. You get it from your perspective, dude. I swear to God, you get it from your perspective. The only time it's hard is when your perspective is hard. The only time it's hard is when your perspective is like, oh, this is hard. This isn't how it should be. I thought it was supposed to be easier. That's when it's hard. If you're running right now and it's 9 o'clock at night and you've had a long day and you're giving it your all, you get to decide how you speak to yourself. You get to decide if you're like, oh man, dude, I have these sales meetings with myself where I'm like, I know you're different. I'm like yelling at myself on the way to gym at 5 a.m. I was so pissed off to go to the gym on Friday because we had 3 conferences. It was like 11 days back to back to back every day, all day. I was just jacked up, dude. And I'm going to the gym and I was literally going to sleep in. I was like so close to doing it. But when I don't touch the line, I'm like, I just end up like, I know it just doesn't work out good for me. So I get up and do it. And I'm yelling on the way to the gym. I didn't even play the radio. I just said, like, if people actually saw me, like this isn't motivation. I was literally pulled out of my neighborhood right here. And I just started yelling at myself. You're him, dude. You're him. You're him. This is what you do. This is how you do it. This is why nobody else wants it. This is why they ain't going to get it. This is why you're going to get it. This is where they quit. This is why they stop. And I'm just yelling fucking all this nonsense to myself. Swear to God. And I'm just yelling to myself. And in my head, I'm just like, I'm like worked up. I've convinced myself that 99% of people won't do this. And whether it's true or not, it's my perspective. And that perspective is what's made me dangerous in sales. I know that people can stay excited for a day or 2 days or 2 months or 2 years or 3 years. My superpower is my consistency. My superpower is I'm gonna figure out how to show up. Even if it's 12%, I'll show up 12%. And if I'm embarrassed about that, the next day I'm gonna give 152% to make up for that 12. But I'm gonna keep showing up. I'm gonna keep clawing. I'm like a dripping damn faucet, dude. I just keep freaking coming. Drip, drip, drip. I'm just keep coming, bro. Just keep coming. And you ain't gonna stop me, man. And you can't convince me whether or not it's the truth or not. I feel unstoppable, okay? I want to encourage some of you guys to know that you're unstoppable. I want to ask anybody in the room, have they died yet? Have you died yet? Paul, haven't died yet. Devin, haven't died yet. So truly, you've beat 100% of the battles that you faced. It's my perspective. It's my perspective. You've won 100% of the battles that you've entered. 100%. Through God's grace, you've won 100% of the battles that you're in. So this week, you're faced with two things if you want to have the best month of your life. It's only going to come down to two things: perspective and effort. What's your effort level going to look like when you don't want to give it, when you feel like you don't have it? Will you even remember this meeting? Or is this motivation? Or is it like, hey, he said some things, I'm going to write these 3 things down and I'm going to do them? Because I've been saying this whole time, face a demon. And if you don't face your demon, then you just got on here for nothing, dude. No wonder you don't grow. No wonder you're not going to get there. Like, if you just jump on here and you think it's like some shit that I'm making up, I'm just having a conversation with me right now. I'm just having a conversation with you and thousands of people that I've coached. If you did that, your belief goes here. And if your belief goes here, your money goes here. So you're happier. And if you go here and you're internally happy, then you look at yourself a lot different. It's the truth. So here's what I want to ask you. What's your perspective going to look like going into the first of this month? What's your perspective going to look like? Brooke Walker, Brandon Walker, looks like their perspective's on fire. They're like fighting in the chat. I love them, dude. Every time I see them, they're getting better. They're more excited. They're going closer together. They're just becoming like the next level version of themselves. This week, somebody's going to try to steal your perspective. Do you have the awareness to not get triggered, to not become an asshole, to not get upset, to figure out how to be more patient? I'm telling you, these are all things I'm working on, okay? Patience, not my strong suit. She's right here. She knows. Patience, not my strong suit. But have I become more patient over this? She said, yeah, she's only saying yes for you guys, probably. Yeah, it's okay. Patience, okay? But number one, will you lose that perspective when something challenges your perspective? Or will you continue to, align? I just posted on Facebook. I said, stop aligning your dysfunctional thoughts with your own thoughts. Start aligning them with God's word. Start aligning them with something more powerful than you, man. Start aligning them with the future version of you. If you don't believe in God, okay, cool, man. Believe in the future version of yourself. Start aligning them with the future you. Be proud of what you're telling yourself. Or would that person not get there? To be like, dude, come on, man. Stop, dude. The only person that can stop you is you. The only person that can stop you is your thoughts. The only person that can stop you is your beliefs. Your beliefs. I believe it's all possible. I believe that every person in here can get it. I believe the most screwed up person in here is probably qualified for the biggest life. I believe that the person that's hurt the most people will probably end up changing the most lives because they're sick of being hurt. I believe that the person in here that can bring the best effort, bring the best energy, bring the best belief, get around the most people and be happy. Listen, man, like today was a really good day for me because I'm not as present as I should be a lot of the times, but I'm walking through this train park with my family and I've been using this mind frame, and maybe you can use it too. But today is the good old days. And I've been telling myself that every day for like the last week or last several weeks. Today is the good old days. What's that mean? You guys are all obsessed. You're just like me. Raise your hand if you're obsessed with the next level. Okay. Don't miss out on the current level trying to chase the next level. You hear me? Don't miss out on this current level. This current level is important even if it's not what you want. Right now, this level's not what I want. You're like, oh, but dude, look at your house. Look at this shit. Yeah, dude, it's fucking sick. But listen, you get that, and then you're like, oh, there's this thing. Okay, and I'm always like that. Okay? It's my strength and it's also my weakness because my mind is always on to the next thing. But you must enjoy and take care of this level, even if it's not the best level. Okay? So, but today, with your kids, with your family, today is the good old days. Today's the days, when I was sitting there stressed out in that church 5 years ago, and Andy, he's always had this perspective, but he would turn to me and he'd be like, dude, this is exactly how it should be. Like he always would say, we needed to get 15 times harder. And I'm like, shit, man, it seems pretty fucking hard, But he would be like, he would always just talk about this perspective. And if you really know him, you know that, like, yeah, he's intense and passionate, but he's always, like Miranda will say, he's always been the most grateful person, isn't he? He lives in like a state of bliss in his mind. I said on stage, the other day that he's kind of like a golden retriever. You guys ever seen a golden retriever? They're just like, yeah, yeah. I'm like, dude, our whole lives would be burning down, and Andy would have the greatest perspective ever. And I'm like, what the fuck, dude? Are you serious? And he'd be like, dude, just give it to God and like just move on to the next thing. Like, it's no big. And I'm like, bro, what do you mean? And I never could, like, it was hard. I took inspiration from it, and it would help me through that day. But like now I'm starting to really understand like how he operated that way. And it's really because most of the stuff is out of your control. What's in control, what is in your control is your perspective. What is in control is your effort. And if you can give those things and really work on those things, then everything else has a funny way of figuring itself out. Doesn't it, guys? Doesn't it, Rob? It does, man. It does. So I want to encourage you guys. I love you guys. We love you guys. But I want to tell you, there was something that was like just on my heart, and I didn't practice any of this shit. Honestly, I'm just speaking to you from my heart, on things that I'm going through, things that I'm pushing towards, things that I'm constantly thinking about, things that are working for me, things that have not worked for me, things that have almost cost me everything, things that have made me a lot, things that have helped me become a lot. And so I'm super thankful for you guys. I'm grateful for you guys. If you said to start this meeting that you're going to have the greatest week of your life, I want you to know that it is for you, that it is for you. It is going to happen. And no matter what the result is, the external result, the internal result shouldn't change. That means if you don't make a sale or something doesn't happen, that still doesn't dictate your happiness. You still got to figure out a way to just be like, you know what? It's all good. It's all good. Hey, I'm going to get there. And you still got to figure out how to have fun. You still got to remember that this is the good old days. You still got to remember that, like, dude, even if you're not in the place you want to be, 10 years ago, do you remember where you were at? 10 years ago. 10 years ago, I was getting my first apartment. Or 15 years ago, I was getting my first apartment. I was thinking about this the other day. 15 years ago, I made a Facebook post. It was like when Facebook came out. Some of you guys were just born, okay? And I was getting my first apartment, and it was like 500 square foot. You sat in the bathroom while you were watching like TV. There's like bathroom here. There's like no door. And then the living room, like you could touch the walls. And I thought how cool that place was. I was like, oh my God, dude, the fact that I got my own spot, the fact that I got, like, I didn't even know I was going to pay rent that month because I'd never paid rent. I was like, what am I going to do? I was 17. I wasn't even out of high school because I was dropping out. And I just thought how cool it was, man. And so, but that was a dream at that time. And so, you know, as you go along in life, you have these big dreams and you got these big hopes and you got these big wishes, and they're going to come true. But just never lose perspective of that you already have enough. And I want you to go get 1,000 times more. But the person that seeks happiness in the distance, they never find it. The person that seeks happiness under their feet, they have a funny way of having an energy and a frequency that attracts everything that they want. If you go in tomorrow and you're the most likable person, you're the happiest person, it's funny that your team will operate that way. So today and going into this week, just audit your energy, audit your mindset, man. Audit the people that you're around. The people that you're around have so much to do with how you think, how you talk, how you speak, what your belief is. I didn't realize, the last thing I'm gonna say is I didn't realize when I was in my hometown how bad my hometown was for me. I didn't realize, like, hanging around all these losers, like how it kind of just diluted. That's the one, Rob. That's the one. Hang around the right people, man. You know, if you guys are ever here in Arizona, you want to come hang around me, you can always come hang around us. I'd love to see you guys in our July conference. I appreciate you guys. Make sure you have the biggest week ever. And make sure you walk into that room tomorrow, whatever sales arena you're in, make sure you walk in there with a God-sized belief, not a baby-sized belief. Make sure you walk in there and you know who you are. Make sure you walk in there and they're like, bro, where's this guy from? He's got a different presence. He's got a different mindset. He's got a different energy. He's got a different belief. Walk in there tomorrow like, dude, you're like God himself sent you. Like God himself sent you into that sales arena, like he sent you in that leadership arena, like he sent you to make a change. Walk in there with a full belief, with a full confidence, with an unshakable confidence. Your confidence isn't rooted in just sales training and a bunch of different things. You know what it's rooted in? It's rooted in Jesus. It's rooted in your heart. You know what my confidence is rooted in my intention. I know I'm a good person. If I don't know something, I don't even care if I know it. My confidence is rooted that I know I'm trying my hardest, and when I get across from that person, doesn't matter what they know or I know. I believe in me, and they're going to believe in me. They're going to buy. That's the end of the story. I love them. They love me. I'm going to treat them the best that anybody in the world has ever treated them. Hands down, guaranteed. Roll the red carpet out. I take confidence from giving people great experiences. I take confidence from knowing that I'm trying my hardest. People say confidence is, you know, like you have to study something for 40,000 hours. I don't believe it, man. I believe that if I pay for something like sales training or something and I'm doing it, I feel like I just absorbed the confidence. I'm like, oh shit, I'm the best at this. Like, let's go. Like, well, I might not even know shit. But the confidence is in you. It's in your belief in you. And the belief in you just comes from keeping those promises and go to the next level. So I love you guys. Kick some ass. I'll keep going, but I'm at 1%. So peace out.
All right, guys, you're the true 1%ers. You made it to the end of the video. Let's go. Like, comment so we know who you are down below, and then share this video to somebody else who needs it. And also turn your notifications on because we got the fire coming every single day. Amazing. We'll see you at the next video. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go.